It's hard to make out what all this junk is. I love it. I call it rusty gold. Unobtainium. I'm going to have to polish that fire extinguisher down under there. And that light, I'll turn the camera sideways. That light right there goes on the brush guard of the Chevy, but I don't know if I want to install it. And I'll explain why later. Today's task at hand is installing the radio suppression filters as per TM10-1557. So my truck had some on it when I bought it, and had to take them all off, of course, to clean the firewall. And let me find a pointer here. This candidate screwdriver is nice. Okay, so I've installed this one and this one, but not this one. And I have installed this one. Now, a lot of old guys will know when you turn on an AM radio in an old car, you start up the engine, you turn it on, you hear that buzzing sound. These filters cancel that buzzing sound. So this filter, number 3, I didn't know that I had. Not only I didn't know I had it, but I have 2. I remember cleaning this one up a long time ago and painting it, but I forgot where this one came from, which is nice because it doesn't have much paint on it and it's really oily, so that means all of that stuff is going to clean right off with the wire wheel very easily. So let's go to the truck and I'll show you what I've done so far. So it's necessary to install these filters before the firewall goes in. And there are 2 of them right there. Originally from the factory, they were not painted. They were an item that was boxed up in cosmoline, which is a type of wax. And they were just zinc plated. I polished these up on my wire wheel, and the zinc is pretty good, but just to keep them looking shiny like that, I just put a real thin coating of motor oil with a paintbrush and then rubbed them with a rag. So I don't have the correct fasteners, and that's kind of okay. So I've used my quarter 20 Allen head screws that are machine screws. It's a little hard to see, but there they are. Those are also nylock nuts, so they won't back off. And I used my, we'll go around to the other side. I used my impact driver, and I positioned, wonder what I did with it. It's probably on the bench inside. Just used the impact with a deep 7/16 inch socket, and then I used my Allen wrench to go in the head and positioned it so that when the tension of the nut started bearing down on the screw, the Allen wrench would hold against something and stay put, and it did on all 4, 6, 7, 8 so far. This other filter I'm going to clean up installs in this area here, And when I had my first Chevy, I didn't know what all these holes were. And I have since learned that these holes here, and it makes sense, these holes here are for pins to go through to hold the firewall pad in place. In fact, there are still 2 here in the firewall. So I can find those, and then I think another one goes here. These 2 holes here are for an oil can bracket, so because they're points on the engine you got to oil. I think that some of these here were drilled in after the fact, and probably just leave them alone. But let's go clean up that filter. So I'm going to use this other filter, set you up right there. I'll remove the original wiring. These little fasteners can be cleaned up and reused, which is awesome. I love it. I wonder... I don't know if I'll be able to set the camera down. I gotta get a tripod. Doggone it. This adventure is becoming a little bit more sophisticated as days go on. So I'm just going to clean this up. Stop this portion of the video here, and it'll be edited in to the next portion after it's cleaned through the magic of stop motion. Well, that's maybe not stop motion, but anyway. Alright, so that only took a few minutes, maybe about 5 or 6. It had the moisture fungal protectant on it too, and a lot of grease. So now I'm just going to touch it up with this. Maybe this will be a better vantage point. Yeah. Well, look at that. Resting it on top of the transfer case. All right. across this guy's channel. Let me shut this down for just a moment. I stumbled across this other dude's channel on YouTube, and he's got a great channel. He restores antique tools and different things. He did an overcomplicated paper tape dispenser. Back in the day, long time ago, you know, there were these paper tape machines that had glue on one side and it held water, and you pushed the handle down and it fed out the paper, and you used it to seal boxes up with, cardboard boxes up with. And I saw him on his drill press using a wire wheel like this and various other types, and I tried it, and it works great. Get better support. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description below of this video, and the name of the channel is Hand Tool Rescue, and I like his content. He restores some pretty odd things that people would normally not know about. Anyway, here we go. Okay, finished. Nice and shiny. Oh, that was a bad glare, wasn't it? Wow, it still is. Okay. There. Let's see if she'll... Wow. No fumbling. .30 volt, 10 amp, Delco Remy Division, Anderson, Indiana. So I don't know exactly what this filter is for, but as I go through the wiring schematic, I'll find out. So I'm going to cut it here, and that's how I clean up old components. Okay, so the filter I just cleaned up is on the Firewall, and I have it set up to tighten the screws. So the screw itself will want to turn counterclockwise in this position when I take the impact with the 7/16 deep socket and tighten it. Hopefully the Allen wrench won't fly off the screw head, which it did not. And that's all it takes. So this time, on this side, let's see if I can't see the screw head. Oh boy. There we go. So there it's resting there. We're going to hit it again. Careful. Okay, everybody steady. Here we go. That's it. That's how I did these. And securely tightened. Got the Allen wrench, didn't fly off and land on the ground somewhere. And now all the filters are in place. All 4 of them. So that completes this portion of the little video of the filter cleanup and installation. Thanks for watching.